always a moment to where I feel like I'm a little bit too big for my britches, and I can put one of these things together blindfolded, especially these 990Bs, because I've worked on, I think this is the fourth one. But every time there's a little hiccup. On this one, there's two hiccups. This is the first one. I put the selector in upside down. It still works because this part right here, this decorative piece, just screws into the actual parts that matter. So this is still accurate. It's just the dot is on the wrong side. So when we flip this over, we'll undo that and put this the right way. But the biggest thing is we've got some impingement to where it's not really, the tone arm doesn't want to go any further than that. This is the underside of the speed selector. So all I have to do is take this clip off, take that clip off. This piece will lift off. And then I just need to undo that screw uh, and then just flip the little selector around to where the little white notch is pointing that way. But back over to the tone arm, let's rotate this guy a little bit, see what we got going on over here. Okay, what can we, okay, so here's the problem. So this right here this is obviously goes down to the tone arm. This piece right here has a notch to it. However, that notch needs to be on the other side of this piece right here. So this piece needs to go all the way back. And I think where the goof up is let's see if you can, uh, it's hard to tell from this angle. Okay, so this piece right here goes that way. And I think if I push on this, can you see it? Let's see if we can't zoom in here. All right, so there's the piece. Okay, so can we focus in on that? Here is the lip. Hold on. There we go. This is the lip that needs to be on the other side of this tab right here. So I think, so this lip has a notch on it, and the tip of this bar needs to go behind this, but then on the other side of this, the notch that's on this piece right here. And so I think that's what's keeping it from coming all the way back. My initial thought is taking all of this apart, which would be a pain in the ass because I'd have to desolder those tone arm leads. But also there's this clamp, this ring right here is a pain in the ass to get to or get off because I don't have the right tool. Well, I have the right tool, it's just not the right size to get this off in one piece. So it's a little bit of a rascal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this clip off, see if I can't slide this piece out just enough to where I can slide it back in into the correct positioning on the other side of this guy right here. So that's a lot of shaky cam, but fingers crossed that's what we can do. Good idea is a valiant attempt, but there's just no wiggle room to get that little brass lever in between the two pins where it needs to go to allow that arm to retract where it needed to be. But on the upside, one of the little springs, one of the little E-clips that I had lost during the construction of this thing magically just appeared. I swear there's like a trickster spirit in this house sometimes because it really made no sense to where it was. Like it was just hanging out on the side of this thing right here, which doesn't make any sense. So yeah, trickster spirits in here for sure. So we went ahead and we've got this taken care of. So this was the speed control. We took this off, turned the little knob around, and then let's zoom in here. As you can see, that tab is now behind that. So I think that was our problem. So we're going to flip the deck over and run it through a non-powered auto cycle because I haven't done I want to get this done. I want to get this all situated before I mess with the motor at all. So yeah, we're going to flip this around and just run it through and just make sure that it works without any kind of impingement. Okay, let's spin this rascal and see what we got. So we got it on the 12-inch setting. Yep, there we go. Let's keep going. So the 12-inch drops at the 10. So, ooh, loud. All right. So let's see what we got for a 7-inch. So if if this goes all the way in, so a 7-inch would probably set down to like right around here. So I did mess around with the drop down setting. So that should drop down way inside the inner ring, and that's as far as it will go. Yeah, so that's the inside ring. That should, let's see here. Well, maybe we're gonna have to, yeah, so that didn't set down. So I've got it set. Let's turn it over to 10-inch, see where you go. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? 10-inch radio. Oh God, yeah, that drops way in. So yeah, I need to adjust that, adjust this to where that sets down in the right spot. That's so funny. Thankfully, that's just like a little screw in the back here. I'm gonna put a mat on, and go get a 7-inch record and adjust it to where this sets down just right there. Because if you get the 7-inch correct, then everything else follows suit. I'm not going to worry about putting the cartridge and counterbalancing all that because I don't have a new stylus to try on just yet. So yeah, uh, we'll after I get this set, we'll call it a night, and then that just leaves bum 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 the motor. Hey, check on that capacitor if that's in there too. I don't know. Just depends on how saucy I'm feeling on this turntable.